Hello, geometry, and welcome to the second lesson of topic one. This is covering basic constructions. So, if you look here in this standard here, one of the standards in geometry is to talk about these ideas called formal constructions. Now, there are multiple ways to do constructions, but we're going to focus on compass and straight edge constructions. However, we are going to use some geometric software. And this geometric software, which most of you are familiar with because of last year, is called Delta Math. Now, I'm actually going to click on this link and get us there. Let me log in real fast. Again, we might dabble with Delta Math throughout the year, FYI. But again, in here, there are some great geometry topics, and we're going to do some basic constructions today. All right, so good. So I'm there. Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about the first construction. And the first construction is going to be, let's get there, the copy a segment. So again, how can you copy a segment using only a straight edge and a compass? So if you think back, way back in Greece, right? These guys were Greek philosophers, whatever, Euclid, um, Pythagoras, right? They used what were called a straight edge and a compass. So a straight edge is simply what it says. It's a tool used to draw straight lines. Now, typically what we use are rulers if we were going to do this by hand. And rulers have the measurements, right? They're broken into centimeters and inches, but you don't use that to measure things with. You just use it for the straight edge to draw straight lines. It is actually the compass that you're going to use that measures things, right? So the compass, it's this tool. It's right down here. This is a compass. So it has a pencil in, it has a pointy in, and it kind of opens up like an angle, right? It's actually that tool that measures length. And the way that it actually measures length. And the way that it measures length is by opening up to the width of something, right? So you put the point in on one, the pencil on the other end, and that's how it creates its width. And again, you're going to use this tool to draw arcs and also to copy lengths. And copying lengths is the huge one because constructions are based off of what's called congruence. Now, we talked about congruent segments and angles. So by using the compass and straight edge and keeping the settings the same, you create a lot of congruences. And for the first one, copy a segment. That's essentially saying, let's create a congruent segment. So here is what we're given. We're given segment AB. I want to make this segment again. All right. I'm going to go through the steps with you here, and then we'll go to Delta Math and actually do it. So step one, you're going to copy segment AB. So first thing you're going to use is a straight edge. You're going to draw a line. This line is somewhere else on the paper, and you're going to put a point M on that line. Point M is going to coincide with point A. Okay. Then you're going to place the compass on the original point A, and you're going to open the compass to the length of AB. So again, you notice here that your compass is the width of segment AB. Next, what you do is you're going to use the same setting. So this is what I'm talking about when you don't change the compass setting, and you're going to place the compass on point M, and you're going to draw an arc that crosses line L. You're going to mark the point where the arc crosses line L as point N, and that segment MN is going to be congruent to segment AB. So segment MN will be congruent to segment AB. And again, we're going to do that here in a second. So this is what we call a construction. All right, so let's take a look at this real fast. So let me clear that. Let me escape here. All right, so let's go to Delta Math, and we're going to do the copy of the segment construction. All right, so it says use the compass and straight edge to copy segment GH using G prime. So again, what we're going to do here is they said draw a line. We're actually going to draw a ray. So we're going to make a little bit of a change. This ray is going to start at G prime and go somewhere else. Okay, so there's my ray. So now, instead of a line, there's my ray, and we already have G prime on it. G prime is going to correspond to G, so now I have to create this H prime. So now here's where we get the compass, and I'm going to open the compass as wide as GH. Now notice they use a circle, right? So as I said, a compass draws arcs. If you drew a full 360-degree arc, you draw a circle. So a compass could draw circles, but again, this is their showing of a compass. And now I'm going to take this point G, I'm going to move the circle up to G prime. So this right here is the length of segment GH. I'm going to draw an arc. So notice the pencil, I draw an arc. Okay, I'm going to click the compass button to make that go away. This point right here is H prime. Now we can't label that point, but it's those 2 points I will connect with a segment. And there we go. We have copied segment GH up here, G prime, and again, H prime. If I could label it, I'll do it real fast, H prime, so that these 2 segments are the same length. All right, cool. Good for us. Okay, let's go back real fast. And let's attack the second construction. Okay, so back to our notes here. The next construction we're going to look at is copy an angle. So copy a segment is pretty basic. Copy an angle, we're stepping it up now, okay? So again, I'm going to kind of go through the steps just in pages, and then we'll go through. So again, this copy of the angle is no joke, right? This is no joke. It's not for the weak, for sure. So here's our angle A. We want to copy it. So notice the first thing they do is they're going to put a point X somewhere, and they're going to draw a ray using their straight edge, right? Once you have that, this is where you're going to place the compass on point A, and you're going to draw an arc across the original angle. And you're going to make these 2 points B and C where that arc crosses the angle, right? Next, so without changing the setting, so again, oh, sorry, let me go back real fast. There. Without changing the setting, you need to place the compass on that new point X and draw a similar arc. Now, you don't have 2 rays, so it's only going to cross the bottom ray, label that point Y, but make sure you draw this arc big enough, because eventually we are going to draw another ray through there that's going to make the angle. So angle A is going to be angle X, essentially. All right, so now what you do, let's take this back, is you're going to place the compass on point C and open the compass the distance towards point B. This is a key step, okay? I'm going to emphasize it with some stars. This step 4, very, 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 very key. 2 stars. I don't know why I did 2 stars, but I did. This right here is measuring angle A's width. And as I told you, that is how we make sure we measure things, is with a compass. So we are measuring the width between B and C, not along the curve, but this straight width. Okay, this distance, this length is going to be used to help us find where this second ray goes. And now, once we do that, we're going to take the compass with the same setting, without changing the setting, and now you're going to place your compass on Y, and you're going to draw this arc up here, crossing the original arc, and that'll give you point Z. Once you get point Z, you're going to draw ray XZ. And what you've done is you've completed your construction, and you've now made angle A and angle X congruent. Okay? So again, this is a key point that leads you to being able to show that angle A is congruent to angle X. All right, so let's take those steps and let's put it to practice in Delta Math. So we're going to the copy an angle with compass and straight edge. Sure thing. Okay, here we go. So it says use compass and straight edge to copy angle W. The vertex of the copied angle should be at point W. Your final answer should be 2 blue rays. Okay, so there's our point W prime. And I'm sorry, I didn't emphasize the apostrophe means prime. We'll talk more about that in topic 3 with transformations. So I'm going to take a ray. I'm just going to try to copy this bottom ray like this. Sure. Okay, next we're going to grab a compass. This is where we go to the original angle and go down the angle just sure. And I need to draw the arc across that original angle. And remember, these 2 points are very important, and they'll be there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same compass, that same circle, come down to W prime, and I'm going to draw even a bigger arc, making sure I cross that line. And again, you see the point that it created. All right. Okay, so that is that compass setting. That one's done. So I'm going to take the compass off. So now I must get another compass, and I must connect these 2 points, starting with this point here and going up to this point. What I'm doing there is I'm measuring the width of angle W. And now I'm going to drag this compass setting down to this point, and here is how I get that second arc. That's a very important step. You cannot forget that step. Once I have that, now I just have to draw my ray going from W prime through that point. And we have created W and W prime that are congruent to each other. And there you go. Done. Of today's constructions, that is the most difficult one. So if you've mastered that, life is good. Because that is the most difficult one, we'll stop video 1 there and we'll pick up in the next video.